her Harambe Twende. Let's go. Alright, now we're going to be entering the reserve through the little Eatery Forest. As you make way through this area, you'll notice there's a lot of dense vegetation all around us. So this does mean that the animals might be a little bit more difficult to spot than others, not to mention they are a little bit more shy and timid. These animals like to use their own natural colorings and patterns as a form of camouflage to basically hide from danger. Now, over to our left side to start things off, we can see a group of bongos. Bongos are also known as the ghosts of the forest. They are known to blend in very well with their surroundings. Bongos are known to have one of the heaviest set of horns in the entire antelope species, and the horns are fully grown. When they're fully grown, they usually curve backwards towards their bodies, so we're going to help them to run through tangled up underbrush without getting tangled up themselves. Now, to our right side are some greater kudus. Greater kudus are the second largest antelopes in Africa, standing at just under 5 feet tall when they're fully grown, and actually can tell that those are females, because only male kudus can actually grow horns on their heads. And they're also known to be pretty good jumpers. When running, they usually jump a distance of around 8 feet going forward in the air. Now I'll be to our left side, we do get a pretty nice view of a black rhinoceros. Black rhinos are around 3,000 pounds, and when charging, they can reach a top speed of around 35 miles per hour. They are extremely endangered animals, hunted due to the keratin in their horns, which poachers do believe has some kind of medicinal value. It is not at all. As a matter of fact, keratin is the same protein that make up both your fingernails as well. Sorry, mine just went out. It makes up both your fingernails as well as your hair. And unfortunately, due to legal poaching, there's actually fewer than 2,000 black rhinos left in the entire world. Now, if you look to our left-hand side, we can see two pretty large birds known as the saddle-billed stork. When fully grown, they do stand at around 5 feet tall, and they do usually have a wingspan of around 7 feet across. Saddle-billed storks do actually not have any kind of vocalization pattern. They actually will communicate with each other by simply rattling their beaks. Now up ahead is going to be the Sapi River, home to the Nile hippopotamus. Definitely be sure to keep a very sharp eye out for those hippos, as they are known to spend a lot of the day underwater. Looks to be a hippo just up ahead on our right side, is right at the surface. Hippos are actually known to spend an average of 16 hours per day underwater, and they can actually hold their breath for around 5 to 8 minutes at a time. Hippos do this in order to help keep their bodies from overheating, as well as to prevent dehydration. Looks to be a few more over here to our left as well, which is an entire group. Now, a group of hippos this large is actually referred to as a bloat. Even though hippos are herbivores, they actually are considered to be one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, mostly because of their aggressiveness and very territorial nature. You definitely do not want to go mess with a hippo. Now on top of the island is a pod of pink-backed pelicans. They do get their names from the pinkish feathers that appear on their backs during mating season. And if fully grown, they can actually have a wingspan of roughly 9 feet across, which actually does come very close to exceeding the width of the canopy right above your head. As you can see, a couple of more hippos over here on our left as well. Now to our left side is a large group of Nile crocodiles. They are the largest in the crocodilian species, coming in at around 16 to 18 feet long, almost as long as a giraffe is tall. Now they do spend a majority of their day mostly just staying still, conserving their energy, as the crocodiles are actually opportunistic feeders. They can eat around half their body weight in one feeding, which does usually mean that the crocodiles eat around 1 meal per week. And obviously they do have a very powerful bite. The jaws can snap shut with a pressure of around 2,000 pounds per square inch. Now as you round this corner, on our right side is going to be a very bizarre looking tree known as a baobab. Baobabs are also known as the upside down trees because their branches do look quite a lot like roots. Baobabs are deciduous trees, which is meaning they do shed their leaves at a certain point of the year, going completely leafless like this for around 6 to 9 months straight. And they are also known to contain around 10,000 gallons of water within their swollen trunks, which has earned the baobab their other nickname, the Tree of Life. Alright guys, now welcome to the savannah. For those of you that are taking pictures, this over to our left side is easily my favorite view on the entire reserve. The plains of the Savannah are spread out to around 800 square miles across the African landscape, and a lot of the animals that are found out here are well known to maintain the landscape themselves. They actually do a very good job at it, whether it be the elephants completely bulldozing the trees down to eat them as food, or the giraffes pruning the underside of the trees, or even the antelopes mowing the lawn. Now we can obviously see a group of giraffe over here on our right side just up ahead. When giraffes are fully grown, they will stand at around 18 to 20 feet tall. Even newborns can actually be around 5 to 6 feet tall, and they usually can walk within the first hour of life. Not only to avoid danger, but also because baby giraffes are born fully developed, unlike humans. Giraffes who spend a majority of their day mostly just eating constantly. They can actually grab onto the food they eat through the use of their very long and prehensile tongue, which can reach to be around 18 inches in length when the giraffe is fully grown. And the reason why a giraffe's tongue has that very bizarre and dark color to it is actually to help keep their tongues from getting sunburnt. And believe it or not, a giraffe's tongue is so long, they actually can use the tongues to both pick their nose as well as lick their own eyeballs. Now also be sure to take a look over to our left side. Never know what we might find. Actually looks to be a pack of African wild dogs. As you can see one up against the wall. There's several of them. Now the African wild dogs are known to be one of the most successful hunters in the entire animal kingdom, as they can chase down their prey so relentlessly until the point where the prey will collapse with nothing but complete exhaustion. They are highly social animals living in packs of around 5 to 15 dogs, and they're usually led by both an alpha male and female, which do act as the primary breeders of the pack. And no, they are not hyenas. Now to our left side we can see a small group of sable antelopes. They actually are the official animals of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They do show up on a lot of our emblems. Now the darker their coats get, as meaning the older and wiser they are. As a matter of fact, the sable antelope with the darkest coat is known to be the alpha. Now you do also see quite a few termite mounds out here. Termite mounds can be as hard as concrete, and they're usually made up of a mixture of dirt, sand, saliva, or in some cases even dung. A lot of the larger animals that are out here, like the giraffes as well as the elephants, like to make use of them as scratching posts, writing them down so they will just completely topple over. I actually can see a group of the young giraffe over to our right side. Look to be very young babies. I had a guess them actually anywhere from around 2 months to 6 months old. Now in Africa there actually are around 8 different giraffe species, but the ones that are found out here on the reserve are known as the Maasai giraffe. We do know this because of the very messy and chaotic spot patterns. Those spots can pretty much take any kind of shape. And parents on board, just please make sure your children are all remaining seated. Make sure that's standing up at all. Now off in the distance over here on our right side, we can see some springbuck antelope and some white-bearded wildebeest. Springbuck is some of the smallest antelopes out here, sitting at around 3 feet tall and they're fully grown. As their name implies, they are known to rapidly spring up into the air as they run, at around 4 to 5 feet straight up from a standing position. This is an ability that is known as prunking. As for the wildebeest, they actually do get their names from the Afrikaans word for wild beasts, and they do live in some of the most densely packed herds in the world, second only to man. As a matter of fact, just one migrating herd of wildebeest can actually contain up to 1.5 million of them. And you also look underneath the cluster of palm trees over there on our right side, but you can see the massive horns of the Ankoli cattle. They are the only domesticated animals on the entire reserve, also known as the Watusi cattle, named after the tribe that had originally domesticated them. Their massive horns can be around 5 to 6 feet in length from tip to tip, and Ankoli cattle's horns do actually function as a way for them to control their body temperature, dispersing excess body heat. much better view of them. Now, those horns of theirs are actually not really that heavy. They are roughly 15 pounds apiece because of the fact that the horns are semi-hollow on the inside. And out there on our far right side, we actually can see 2 elephants. This does seem to be a pretty small group of them, which is leading me to guess these might actually be males. Male elephants, or bulls, do tend to be a lot more solitary. When they are fully grown, they are usually forced out of the main herds by the females. They'll choose to live either completely on their own, or they'll live in loosely packed groups of males only, known as bachelor herds. Now you guys can't see how they're flapping their ears. This is actually the elephant's way of trying to cool themselves down. By getting a nice air current to those blood vessels right behind the ears, elephants could actually lower their body temperature by as much as 15 degrees. Now, for the farmers of Africa, elephants have actually been becoming a very big problem for them since they have been stomping all over and completely destroying all of their crops. So in order to help prevent this, those farmers have gotten together and have been doing a lot of research. They actually have discovered that elephants are quite afraid of bees. So as a result, they have been building beehive fences all around their crops in order to help keep the elephants out. As a nice trade-off, they do get to now produce some honey. Now it looks like we've actually come across a massive red clay pit right here, and in the clay further up ahead actually can see a lot of footprints and tusk marks. Looks like there may have actually been another elephant herd through here. Let's take a look up ahead and see if there's still any nearby. Actually, I do see a few off in the distance to our left. Now, the elephant herds are primarily female-dominated, usually led by the oldest and wisest of the females, known as the matriarchs. Although male and female elephants will hardly ever interact with each other unless it is time for mating season. Now, when female elephants are pregnant, the gestation period is a whopping 22 months long, just shy of 2 years. They do in fact give birth to live young, which is around 300 to almost 400 pounds at birth. Looks to actually be a baby elephant will be on our left. She's actually a little over 2 years old, but not let her age fool you though. Right now she is well over 2,000 pounds. Now, an elephant's skin is actually quite sensitive to the sunlight. In order to help protect themselves, elephants will usually toss some kind of debris all over their bodies, whether it be dirt, sand, mud, or leaves, or sometimes even just water. You also get a much closer view of the wildebeest over here on our right. Even though the wildebeest may certainly have a very scary look to them, they actually are known to be one of the most easily frightened animals out here. Any kind of hint there might be a predator nearby may send the entire wildebeest herd stampeding. Now over here on our left side is a group of greater flamingos. Not only are they the tallest of the entire species, standing at around 5 feet tall, but they also do have the lightest shade of pink. Flamingos do in fact start out gray, and by eating a lot of tiny brine shrimp as well as other small crustaceans which are rich in a mineral called carotene, that is what turns a flamingo's feathers from gray to pink, although this whole process has taken around a year or so to accomplish. And please make sure the little ones are not calling out to the animals, please. Now we see, look over to our right hand side. Behind all these trees over here is actually a group of white rhinos. The white rhinoceros is the largest rhino species in Africa, roughly 2,000 pounds heavier than black rhinos. They aren't actually colored white, but they do get their names from the Afrikaans word white, which does mean wide because of their very wide jaw structure, as opposed to the black rhinos' very V-shaped and almost prehensile upper lip. Unfortunately, just like the black rhinos, the white rhinos are also hunted through the keratin in their horns. Although they definitely are more better off than the black rhinos, the white rhinos are actually separated into two different subspecies: the northern white rhinos and the southern white rhinos. And the southern white rhinos is actually roughly 12,000 left in the entire world. However, the northern white rhinos are hunted to almost complete extinction. Believe it or not, there's actually only 2 northern white rhinos left in the entire world. And unfortunately, both of them are female. Once they do die off, the entire subspecies is completely extinct. Now going into our far left side, we can see 2 cheetahs. Cheetahs are among the fastest land animals in the world, able to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds flat, although they're only really able to hold this speed for a few hundred yards. These animals are definitely built for speed over power, as a larger predator like the lions can easily scare them off. Alright, just up ahead looks to be a pride of lions out here on this rock formation. The lions are among the largest carnivores in Africa. They're one of the only big cats that gather together in a pride to hunt cooperatively. They are very nocturnal animals, sleeping anywhere from around 16 to 20 hours straight every day. They are far more active at night. As a matter of fact, their night vision is 6 times more effective than that of humans. The lion prides are primarily male-dominated, but females do majority of the hunting for the pride, while males tend to stay behind in order to guard their territory as well as to ensure the safety of their cubs. And as on this curve over here, on our right side we can see 2 water buck. The water buck are able to secrete some kind of foul-smelling and oily substance all over their fur, which helps them both waterproof their fur, and also help them fight other water buck because of that foul smell. Let's also see another white rhino over here as well. Now, right by this rhino over to our right side, we can also see a buck. Now, the bucks have actually been hunted to almost complete extinction, partly due to their shiny coats. Whenever the sunlight is happening to hit a buck at just the right angle, it does make it seem like they almost do glow purple. Alright, now up ahead is unfortunately going to be our final stop on our tour. This area is known as Magadi Glens, and it's actually one of the newest additions to the reserve. Now unfortunately because of this, we don't really get too many animal sightings in here, but let's see what we happen to find. Now on our far right side is actually a scimitar-horned oryx. Now they actually can go for around 6 to 9 months without ever drinking a single drop of water. They do get a majority of the sustenance they do need for the food they do eat. The oryx is a desert-dwelling animal, so they have learned to adapt to that harsh and dry environment. If you guys do want to see any of the animals that are native to Africa, definitely be sure to go check out the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. Out there is going to be able to see a lot of different animals, whether it be something as small as a naked mole rat to a meerkat, something as large as a western nomad gorilla. Also a walking trail, so you guys can take as long as you like. And now, judging by the watering hole up ahead, it does seem as though we are nearing the end of our safari, folks. So make sure you guys are gathering up all of your personal belongings that you guys may have brought along with you. I'll be dropping you guys off at the very same dot that I picked you guys up from. That way those of you with wheelchairs and scooters can have quick access to them. So sit back and relax. We'll be back there momentarily.